Dr. Tetsu Segao, a research scientist, stole a device called Guyver, a bio-boosted alien armor. If a human wears the armor, it increases natural powers 100-fold. As he was on the run, people noticed him from a bridge and pointed him out. He quickly closed the bag and kept running as they chased him, but they managed to catch up to him. Another man, Lisker, got out of the car and took the device by threatening him with a knife. After they did, Lisker asked him if he could still come back and work with him, but Dr. Tetsu started transforming into a creature. Seeing this, Lisker also transformed and they started fighting. Lisker easily managed to overpower and defeat Dr. Tetsu, and they took the device as he lay on the ground covered in blood. Later, in karate training, a man approached Mizky Segao and he introduced himself as Max Reed from the CIA. He was there to tell her that he was supposed to meet her father, Dr. Tetsu Segao, but he never made it because others got to him first. He saw him being attacked from a distance and he ran toward him, but it was already too late and he was dead. As she cried, one of the trainees, Shawn Baker, saw her and he was distracted because of that and he got injured during the training. When she got out, he got on his bike and followed. Lisker took the device back to Kronos Corporation. Fulton Balkus happily took the bag, but when he opened it, the device was not there. Fulton got angry at this and started controlling Lisker with his head and made him hit himself, and he then angrily approached Lisker and told him that it'd be the end of him if he didn't find the device. Shawn followed Max and Mizky to the crime scene of Dr. Tetsu and peeked from the distance. Meanwhile, Max was facing accusations from his colleague because of his claim about monsters he saw. Max insisted that he saw them, but his colleague didn't believe him. As Shawn was looking from a distance, he heard a sound and saw the device that Dr. Tetsu had hidden. He quickly picked it up and saw Lisker nearby, so he moved away from the area along with the device. Back at home, Max explained why her father reached out, and it was to give him the Guyver, a space armor that he stole from the lab. As they talked, Shawn knocked the door, but seeing Max, he angrily left. Lisker and his people were looking for the device at the place, but they couldn't find it. Lisker, angry, told them to keep looking, but to no avail. Shawn drove his bike into a hood, but his bike broke, and shortly after, a gang surrounded him. He attempted to flee, but they quickly caught him and started beating him, and as they were doing it, the device fell from his bag and Shawn fell on it. The device merged with his body and he quickly transformed into a cyborg. After that, he beat each man with ease, and one of them took his gun and shot at him, but that didn't hurt him at all. As he was fighting them, he saw himself in a mirror and saw what he had become, and shocked, he attempted to get rid of it, and the gang members ran using this opportunity, and Shawn frantically screamed when he couldn't get rid of what was on him. But when he screamed, the device disintegrated from his body, leaving 2 small holes on the back of his neck. Lisker went back to Fulton to tell him that they hadn't found the device, and he was super angry. Desperate, Lisker mentioned that Dr. Tetsu has a daughter, and he saw her at the crime scene. Fulton then ordered him to bring Mizky right away. The next morning, Shawn woke up and saw his body was normal and unaffected by the beating from yesterday. Max tried to convince the CIA that Dr. Tetsu was actually going to give him something he stole from Kronos, and that he was going to give it to him, but Kronos said that there was nothing that's stolen, and that the corpse that they found yesterday looked like it's a month old. So apparently, no one was believing Max's theory about the previous night. Shawn went to Mizky and learned that her father had died. As he was comforting her, she told him that she was glad that he was here, and as they were about to kiss, her friend came, and Shawn decided to leave. He told her he would be back when her friend left, and as she was going out, he saw Lisker's men getting in, but he didn't know who they were, so he left. When he came back, they were going out with a carpet, and he went and opened her house, but saw that her friend was covered in blood on the ground, and the house was a mess. He quickly got outside, and at this time, Max also came, and Shawn hit 2 of the men, and Max saw that Mizky was in the car, and he pulled his gun out, and the three of them managed to escape and run as they were chased by Lisker and his people. Shawn asked why they were chasing them, and Mizky told him that they were looking for the Guyver, and Max explained that it was some sort of space shield, but none of them knew exactly what it was. Lisker and his men all transformed and started searching for them, and they hid, but they could smell them, and one of them located them and started chasing. Max stayed while he ordered Shawn and Mizky to run, and Shawn and Mizky ran only to get caught. All of them were then gathered, and Shawn told them that he has the Guyver, and one of them hit him and fell into the ground, and when he got up, the device went out of the holes on his neck and integrated with his body again, and he then declared that he is the Guyver. One of Lisker's men went to fight him, but he easily threw him away, and more of them followed, surrounding him, but he was too strong to overpower. Lisker remained behind holding Mizky while the others fought Shawn, and they were not able to defeat him, and he managed to beat all of them. When Lisker saw Shawn hitting his girlfriend, he declared to get into the fight himself. He gave Mizky to his girlfriend and started fighting Shawn, and Shawn was also stronger than Lisker, but when he hit him on the forehead, Shawn got disoriented. Lisker realized his head was his weakness and aimed to hit him there, and Shawn remained undefeated until Lisker charged at him and hit him on the forehead. This disoriented him even more, and he accidentally hit Mizky, and he assumed she had died when he saw blood on her, and he got distracted at this time and the others overpowered him, and he fell and Lisker pulled the Guyver from his forehead, and Shawn melted. Mizky woke up in Fulton's custody and found him watching her, and he mentioned that he knew her father well and offered condolences for his death. When Mizky asked about Shawn and Max, Fulton dismissed her concerns, stating it was already taken care of and not even important. Instead, he focused on a valuable item her friend had found, the Guyver unit, and expressed curiosity about how it was activated. Fulton then led her to a facility he called the Growth Corridor, and there he showed her genetically altered humans, whom he referred to as Xanoids. He explained that these beings were part of a long-standing evolution created by aliens who had visited Earth when it was barren. According to him, humans were originally designed by these aliens as ultimate organic weapons, and the Xanoids represented the next evolutionary step. In history, these creatures were the basis of myths about werewolves, minotaurs, and vampires. He envisioned them infiltrating powerful positions around the globe, including the White House, and Fulton continued explaining his vision. Xanoids would infiltrate seats of power in every country. When Mizky asked about the Guyver, he described it as an organic mechanism created by aliens, functioning as a powerful suit of armor. He noted that only one Guyver had been found, but no one had yet discovered how to activate it. Pressing her for answers, he demanded to know how her friend had managed to use it, and Mizky insisted that she had no idea. Fulton attempted to intimidate her, pointing to the grotesque creatures around them, and suggesting she could become one of them. He added that given her beauty, the transformation might be less hideous, but he offered no guarantees. Showing her the facility, he ominously hinted it could become her new home, and terrified, Mizky tried to flee, but Fulton caught her and led her into a lab. Inside, he introduced her to a man called Mr. Barkus and a geneticist, Dr. East, who acknowledged the tragic loss of her father. Fulton explained that Dr. East had worked closely with Mizky's father on the Guyver project, and was now overseeing research on the control metal. When they asked for clarification, Dr. East showed her a sphere-like mechanism, calling it a marvel of engineering and a challenge for their team. Dr. East led Mizky and the others to the location of the Guyver unit, and another Dr. Gordon joined them to explain their findings. He described the control metal's crystalline structure, which acted like a DNA template for both organic and inorganic materials, suggesting that the unit was alive and growing. He theorized it might be cloning itself into a new Guyver unit, and Fulton, intrigued, remarked that Mizky might no longer be necessary and ordered an experiment to begin. To Mizky's horror, the experiment was being conducted on Max, who was restrained with tubes inserted into his head. Desperate, she pleaded with Fulton and promised to tell him everything, and he agreed, but as he leaned in, Mizky struck him and ran to the control metal. Smashing the glass container, she grabbed the control metal, but the Xanoids quickly pursued her, and threatening to throw the control metal down a tube, she stalled them, and Fulton tried to negotiate, but she demanded Max's release. One Xanoid moved closer, prompting Mizky to throw the control metal. The metal stuck to her hand but wouldn't drop, and a Xanoid attempted to seize it, but accidentally tossed it into another Xanoid's mouth, where it was swallowed, and the creature collapsed, gasping and begging for help, before a sharp spike burst from its chest, killing it. Suddenly, Shawn emerged, now fully integrated with the Guyver suit, and he assured Mizky that he had come back for her. She quickly informed him that Max was strapped, and Shawn shattered the glass container. While Shawn fought the Xanoids, Mizky worked to remove the tubes from Max. Once freed, Mizky and Max escaped while Shawn stayed behind to continue the fight, and as Mizky and Max fled, the Xanoids caught up to them, and one grabbed Max by the throat, but Mizky quickly unplugged an electrical cord and used it to electrocute the creature. Meanwhile, Shawn spotted Mizky running and rushed to help, and he tackled the Xanoid, attacking her, sending it crashing into a glass container and triggering an alarm. The noise brought more Xanoids, but Shawn fought them off effortlessly, and as they continued to escape, Max stumbled and fell with a Xanoid pinning him down, and Mizky acted swiftly, saving Max by striking the attacker. The group finally reunited, and Mizky took the lead, claiming she knew the way out. However, Max suddenly collapsed, clutching his leg in pain. To their horror, he began transforming into a Xanoid. Realizing what had happened, Max told Shawn it was too late for him, but urged him to stop the others before succumbing to his injuries. Before they could process Max's death, Fulton appeared and grabbed Mizky, and he revealed that Max hadn't spent enough time in the machine for a full transformation, and then shoved Mizky aside. Fulton transformed into a massive Xanoid. Shawn instructed Mizky to run before turning to face Fulton in a final confrontation. And Fulton was initially overpowered by Shawn due to his size and strength, and just as Fulton was about to deliver a final blow, the Guyver suit reacted, opening at the chest and emitting a force that pushed Fulton away, neutralizing him. With Fulton defeated, Mizky ran to Shawn, who reassured her that he was still himself, and relieved and overjoyed, Mizky embraced him. The Guyver suit then detached itself from Shawn's body, leaving him in human form. Mizky, smiling, brought him a lab coat to cover up, and after sharing a happy kiss, they decided to leave the facility together. As they walked away, they were unknowingly observed from a distance by one of Max's skeptical colleagues, who had previously dismissed his story. A Xanoid emerged behind the man, and he, visibly irritated, commanded the creature to carry out a task, all while watching Shawn and Mizky disappear into the distance.